You know, last time I saw this film was 2016, and I'm like, I will never see this film again unless it's a paid request. And lo and behold, Jonathan, thank you so much for that. For those who want to request any type of videos, review, commentary, re-review, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever the case, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And mark my words, I will never see this film or the 2014 Ninja Turtle film ever again unless it's a paid request for a commentary or a live stream with someone or a review, whatever. Because these films, the 2014, this one, can eat my asshole, lick my left elbow to my right testicle, and could go ride every dick on the dick tree up and down like a pogo stick. I hate this movie like I hated the previous film and even the later Ninja Turtle film by Seth Rogen because he's an idiot. This is why I just go, this franchise is dead. It's hard to get so mad and worked up because I know it's dead. It's 6 feet under. It's not getting back up again. Unless it's a rotting corpse that you need to shoot in the head to stay down, Dawn of the Dead style. And it's dog meat, pal. It's done like dinner. I know people go, it's not that bad. Maybe not to you, but to me, this is like PTSD, man. Because I love the Ninja Turtles. I grew up with them. Yes, I saw the 80s cartoon, but I love the comic books. I love the 1990 movie. Yes, even Secret of the Ooze, which, yes, is goofy and silly, but I find much more charm, much more heart than this movie, or the previous film, or the film after. It's funny. I got a request. You should be up by now. The Power Rangers 2017 film, and that was a much better interpretation of an older product compared to this. So you guys know the story, but just to feel like it, in 2014 you had that Ninja Turtles film, directed by a guy that I liked Darkness Falls, I like Battle Los Angeles, but this guy directed this, and I don't know if he did anything ever again. And it's crazy, that film is 10 years ago, because that was 2014, 10 years. And that there was a script called The Blue Door, I think they called the Blue Door script, and when Michael Bay came out and said, you don't meet these terrorists from another world. What the hell are you talking about? What drugs are you smoking? Another world? What? What other world? I think, bear with me, I think the script was like they were on Earth in New York, but then they find out they're aliens from another world, as of what? Krypton? And that Shredder was actually Colonel Schrader, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then they changed it all. I don't know how far along they were in changing it, but you tell, like, there's one guy that seemed like to be Colonel Schrader, but then here's this guy who's a Shredder, but then it's like they just kind of filmed it and just propped it in there. There were scenes they shot and was never seen. I remember when that film was coming out, they had all these shots of Raphael in a trench coat and a hat with Megan Fox in a parade. You never saw those scenes. And I hated that film with every bated breath. From them getting stuck in a tunnel and Mikey farting in everyone's faces, to him saying his shell was tightening, to the lack of action scenes worth a spit, at least fight scenes. Which, hell, there's less fight scenes in this movie. Now, I gotta get off the 2014 film because it'll be like a 20-minute tangent before I get to this film, and it's already almost 5 minutes in. But that film made money. I get why it made money to an extent, because there was not a live-action Ninja Turtle film since 1993. And this was 2014. So almost 20 years, like over 20 years there had not been a live-action Ninja Turtle film. The only film was an animated film in 2007. So, a live-action film and this big budget, and okay, Michael Bay producing it. Some people like the Transformer films. Maybe they're willing to take the shot. What's this interpretation going to be like? Oh, they were April's pet turtles. And they all got flushed down the toilet pretty much. And then they were mutated. And they found a book. And they just read from a book. And they have zero connection with the Shredder. They're just complete strangers. So everything about the backstory and the link between Hamato Yoshi, like all that's gone. All that backstory is gone. For no discernible good reason. If you don't get rid of it, then give me a good reason. You didn't give me a good reason. You didn't give me any reason. And then the designs of the turtles is a big issue. Same with this film. Because they're big, hulking, bullets bounce off them. They're big fat asses with mongoloid heads and need too much chapstick on their lips. And the nostrils so large you could hang them with your coat hangers. And a face a mother would hate and have a heart attack for. These juicer, chupacabra, Goomba looking motherfuckers. I hate them. I hate the way they look. I hate the way they seem. They're so bad I could smell them off the screen. I hate the designs of these characters. Now, I think the voice actors, Alan Ritchson as Raphael, I think they were given a crappy script. At this point, I can't blame those guys. I saw an interview with Alan Ritchson years and years and years ago where he talked about how he did not have a good time making these films. About how badly they were treated. Because even though they're the stars, it's the Ninja Turtles. The director, this is of the first one, they didn't tell us where to go. They would leave us behind. They would take Baby Fox and Will Arnett and get them set and ready, but we're just hanging around, and we'd have to wait, and we'd be the last people there, and they didn't care about us. They treated us pretty poorly. The reason we did the second film is because we had a contract for 3 movies, and they told us things would change, but they didn't. And Alan Ritchson, I haven't seen the show, but I've seen clips of Reacher, and you see what he's capable of, and I'm like, okay, that's when it seems like you get people who know what they're doing. So I don't blame the voice actors here. Raph, Leo, Mighty, Don, they're just given a crappy script. And what can you do? And just like the way they look, I've gone about that enough and enough. I hate the way they look. Now, granted, compared with the previous film, the Turtles do have more screen time, but it's still not good screen time. You still don't know them as characters. They still did nothing to really work with. There's a hint, and they ruin it. I'll get to that in probably 15 minutes. Because you have these writers, I'm sorry, they suck. Now, hey, if the writers of this film ever somehow see this video, they probably won't, and somehow go, hey, wait a minute, dude. Hey, my name's Matt. You got it all wrong. We were told to write this way. Then you tell me. Give me the info. Need to know basis. But I don't know. And as far as you're to tell, you guys wrote the previous film. You wrote this film. You wrote 2 crappy strips. That they think the audience is so stupid that when these turtles arrive first in the movie, oh, in case you're too stupid, this is Mighty, and he's a pizza lover, and we know this from text. This is Donnie, he's the brains. This is Raph, he's the muscle. Again, in case you're too stupid to know, that's their names, and that's who they are. That's the level of development that you need. And people go, well, what do you want, an Oscar caliber movie? Number one, no one can ever say that stupid crap again, because we live in a day and age that Barbie and Black Panther were nominated for Best Picture Oscars. So don't give me that Oscar crap ever again. Again, Black Panther and Barbie are Oscar nominated Best Pictures nominees. Don't give me that crap. Number two, I just saw Power Rangers 2017 again. There's a one scene where they're around a campfire where they're telling, some of them telling their secrets and what their life's going on. That scene alone had more with getting them as a bond character development than these two films combined. There's a scene that exemplifies how terrible the writing is, even for a Ninja Turtle film, that I have seen deeper character work in cartoons. The 2003 Ninja Turtle cartoon, and even Samurai Jack. Go watch the Lava episode of Samurai Jack with the Viking, and you see his backstory and how his village died, his family died, he was trapped in here, and his will brought this form of a rock, and how Samurai Jack doesn't want to fight him, but then I need to die with honor, so I could go to Valhalla. There's more emotion and work in that. Hell, the 1990 movie when Raph and Leo are arguing and Raph decides to leave. Even that felt more natural. I'll jump to that real quick. There's a scene where literally the dialogue they say is, well, you're all logic and no skill. Well, you're all heart and no brain. I mean, what the hell is this dialogue? I've seen better work on Dora the fucking Explorer. Appelbaum Beam, with your jukes and your fizz, or whatever the hell their names were. Appelbaum and Nemec, or whatever the hell the writers are. Applejacks, whatever. And director Dave Green, who are you? Oh, you're the guy that went on to direct that Coyote versus Acme, which is such, I guess, a great movie that Warner Brothers doesn't even want to release it. They want to put it like Batgirl for a tax write-off. And then apparently you shopped it around and no one wants to buy it. Must be that great of a movie. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe not. But, I don't know, Dave Green. Maybe you should not direct anymore. And let's be honest. It seems like Michael Bay ghost directed this stuff anyway. If he cared. I mean, from the get-go, you got Megan Fox as April O'Neil. And when they cast her in the previous film, people thought it was a joke. They even joked about, oh, who they gonna cast? Megan Fox? And they did. So obviously they don't know how the real world works and how people talk in the real world and mock. Wait, did you take my sarcasm to be how I really feel? Will Arnett as Vern. Laura Linney, who I like Laura Linney. Seen her in films like Congo and others. I like Laura Linney. She's police, I forget her official title, her official character name, but she's a head policewoman. Stephen Amell as Casey Jones, who's a police officer in this. Short-ass hair. Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman. Like, did they just go, let's just fart out a cast. Let's just do everything wrong on purpose and see if people like it. Now, there are people who like this film. There are people who defend this film. There are people who liked it more than the previous one. I guess you would say, technically, this is better than the previous film because at least the Turtles have more screen time. But it's not really that great of a screen time, but they have more screen time and less Megan Fox, so I'll give credit to that. That's probably the last time I give credit to anything. Like, if I go through, like, Megan Fox, she can't act. She has never acted. She can never act. Show this under your shirt. Show you the booty in focus, or get out of my focus. Get out of my way. Will Arnett, he could be funny. He's not bad as Vern, but he's given crap dialogue and not much to do. Laura Linney, again, I like her as an actress. She's not given much to do. Stephen Amell, hey, maybe he's good on that TV show Arrow. But he's given terrible stuff to work with, and he's not Casey Jones. Like, you change every... Other than the hockey mask, which didn't even look that great, and he has a hockey stick, nothing about him screams... Not his attitude. He's a vigilante with long hair, doing all this stuff. Depending which version you watch, he's friends with Raphael. Although it worked well that he was friends with Donatello in a way in the first 1990 movie. This, I don't know why they did it this way. Stephen Amell was not that interesting of a character. His performance wasn't that exciting to watch. Tyler Perry, why the hell would you cast him as Baxter Stockman? Why? Like, okay, people don't like Megan Fox, so let's get someone else that someone doesn't like. That people don't like. Oh, get Tyler Perry. That's the case. Just get Steven Seagal as the Shredder. And make a trifecta of BS. And just the writing, the jokes, the humor is piss poor. Even Secret of the Ooze, which people give crap for, I think some of those jokes are kind of clever and kind of funny. Is Schwarzenegger hard to spell? What? Here it's... Okay, let's go on turtle formation. They jump down. Mighty screws up. I thought you said squirrel formation. They literally make Mighty mentally checked out. And like Mighty, like they give him this dialect where he's like trying to be Ebonics. Hey bro, what's going on? I'm like, okay, you're not black, you're not white, you're green. Shut up, like you want to be Ebonics. I also thought it was weird, like again, just their designs and all this stuff, that they're falling down, and Donnie lands on Raph and goes, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I'm like, do what? Donnie wants to use his brother as a surfboard. Does Raph gets in this shell, they land in the water, and then Donnie's using like a water ski surfboard. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I want to use my brother as a surfboard, water skiing. Okay. Different brothers for different mothers, I guess. And they get the pizza, and that's again the lazy writing and in the directing. It's like, in case you're too stupid. Why would you think people would not know who these guys' names are? We know we do a bad job describing who these characters are with actual writing. So, he's the brains. We told you with text. I mentioned that before. And they got the, lips that you need. Just get some chapstick on it. The nostrils. I just want to do like this. Like the Three Stooges. My God. Yes, I know Turtles did, but nostrils, I did. But this was just so apparently ugly. It's like Shrek. Or Shaquille O'Neal. 4 green shacks on the attack. And then watching Knicks game. Feel bad for them. And they try to have humor where they see Vern and they're spitting spitballs on them. They drop a pizza and one of the players slip on the pizza, so they get out of there. Mighty sees a Halloween parade, and they get like a semblance of what you could do with characters, where Mighty wants to live in the outside world, he wants other friends, so he's among this party, and it's like a Halloween parade, and there's like a guy who's got kind of a neat costume that he looks like Bumblebee, and he can kind of transform. And before he gets a semblance of interest, like maybe people like, oh, he's hanging out with other people, he's making friends that's not his brothers, people, they're marveling at the costume. Like, before you get any amount of possible interest, they cut it out. Nope, he's back down. Oh, meanwhile, Megan Fox is talking with Tyler Perry. And the way Megan Fox, she's undercover in this blonde wig, and Tyler Perry in his outfit. This looked like, remember the MTV Movie Awards? They would do those skits. Was like people pretend to be like referencing a movie. That's what remind me of. Like a bad MTV Movie Awards skit. So one thing leads to another. Megan Fox, because she's not April, just don't keep her on Megan Fox. Which is funny. Apparently they shot a cameo with the actress who was April in the first 1990 movie, and they cut it out. Maybe for good reason, because you don't need to be in crap like this. Although she was in the Elm Street remake, but hey, bills to pay, bills to pay. And apparently they find out that the Foot Clan are going to get Shredder out of this police van while there's a transfer going on. And Shredder's there with Bebop and Rocksteady. Or, I'm sorry, Bebop and Sheamus. Now, I know this is people got so excited for this film because, oh my god, we got Bebop, we got Rocksteady, we got Krang, we finally got him in a live action film. I never gave a rat's ass about that. I like the 80s cartoon, but if I never lived to see Bebop, Rocksteady, and Krang in live action, I would have been fine. I never gave a rat's ass. I know that's one thing people crapped on with secret news. Why isn't Bebop and Rocksteady in the movie? Well, you got them in this. Now, granted, you argue, well, yeah, I want them done well. That's a good argument, but you still got them and still sucked. I think it sucks way worse than anything in secret reviews. And hey, I know that film's far from perfect, but chalked up to nostalgia, I think that film has a lot more charm. Hell, that film, as a kid's film, still has more fighting in it. There's more of the Turtles actually fighting hand-to-hand than in this movie. And there's less fighting in this than in the previous film, to the point of spit. It's called Ninja Turtles, and there's less fighting in this movie. I've seen more fighting in The Hangover when Mike Tyson punched that sucker out to in the air tonight. And he deserved it. I get it. They're trying to appeal more to the 80s cartoon. They even have the 80s theme at the end credits. Again, and you have all this other stuff. But at the same time, I could get that. I can understand it. So you have the crazier things, like they have the turtle, and not van, in this case the garbage truck, where they have these like manholes that they shoot, and these giant nunchucks that Mighty controls. Sure, okay, if you want to go that route, okay. But don't forget that they're Ninja Turtles as well. They actually do fight, fight scenes. You can incorporate that too. And it didn't seem like there was that much action in this movie either. I mean, you could argue there was more action in the previous film compared to this. Because the action you did is Mikey using those nunchucks on the cars, Raph fighting 3 people on motorcycles. He clotheslines 2 and gets the third one off. Really nothing until Brazil? Like a 30-second fight on a plane? They ride the rapids a little bit, avoiding one shot of a tank. And then pretty much the end fight. That's really all the action you did in the movie. So even if you're expecting action spectacle, like of that type of, you're not getting that. Because during that scene, like I mentioned what happened, Casey Jones is a cop for some dumb reason. And Stephen Amell, idea, maybe he's good on Arrow, but here I didn't really find much charisma. I really didn't find him that entertaining. He seemed a bit out of his element. Wouldn't say he was the worst actor ever, far from it, but hell, I bought Chris Evans more as the voice of Casey in that 2007 CGI movie. And Beaver Rocksteady, I mean, of course, they're supposed to be very, very goofy, but the lines they're given, like Sheamus, I'm finished. Just when I start a beatdown, I always finish. Okay, can you finish over there in the bathroom too? Leave me alone. And then, like, they're trying to get Shredder out. Baxter Stoneman's going to teleport him, but then someone else teleports him in the middle of it, and it's Krang. Just something about Stockman is using his tech. And it felt like the most lazy, lackluster, out of the blue element to have these two characters meet, Shredder and Krang. And Krang is voiced by, oh god, I forgot his name, Brad Garrett. So anytime he kept talking, I'm like, what's he going to yell about Raymond? Everybody loves Raymond. So that was a bit distracting. And Shredder is a punk ass in this. He is a punk ass. Punk. He's a punk. He got punked out. He got bent over and punked out by Krang. He stuck the tentacle up where the sun don't shine. Because Shredder does nothing in this. To a point he didn't even need to be in the movie. You really did not even need him in the movie. They just had him there because where Shredder and Krang was in the cartoon, so you have Shredder and Krang. But Shredder does nothing in the movie. He does not fight at all. He doesn't do jack squat at all. He stands around, he talks to, I guess, Karai. They inject this stuff that Krang gives them to Bebop Rocksteady, and Baxter Stockman says something about the dormant gene to our animal ancestors. And I'm like, wait, we have what? We have what now? And the first Bebop Rocksteady thing they do is they look at their dicks and they go, my man. And they say my man like 18 times throughout the movie. My man. My man. Because that's what you want with Beaver Rocksteady if you like those characters. To me, I didn't care one way or another. Is let them look at their dicks and go, yeah, my man. Yep, that's what we wanted. Yep. The Foot Clan at one point is following Megan Fox, and Casey Jones helps her. Then the Turtles get in after the fight's done. And Mikey introduces his family, and you hear the soundtrack, and it's a game show. Like do 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 do. Oh, okay, not that. That's the dating game, but it's like a game show with sound effects. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I guess they really, it's like a spastic ADD cartoon here. I guess that's the point. It's based on a cartoon. Okay, Dave Green or whoever the hell made this choice. So they bring them both to the lair, and Raph and Mikey go Casey Jones to attack Splinter, and then Splinter stops him. Now I'm thinking, wouldn't Splinter be worried that, wait a minute, you brought this stranger to our lair and now he knows where we live? Can we trust this guy? He doesn't care about that at all, apparently. Not one bit. And Tony Shalhoub as Splinter, I didn't mention him because he has like nothing to do. He doesn't fight at all. He just has a couple scenes where he talks to Leo and, hey, your brothers, your family. That's it. And again, he's not worried that this random stranger is now in their lair and knows where they live. Okay. If you say so. You think they'd be a bit more leery after the previous film where people knew where they were live and destroyed the whole lair and kidnapped some of them? But hey, what do I know? Not supposed to take it seriously, Matt. Well, probably nobody here did. Oh, and then they bring up this idea that this ooze could possibly turn the turtles into humans. And that's actually maybe the most infuriating, well, one of the most infuriating parts of this movie. Because that's actually a good idea. It's an interesting idea. It's an idea that you can actually do something with. Like, wow, we have the ability to be human, and then you split the turtles off. Mikey and Raph want that. Leo and Donnie don't. But they do nothing with it. Or at least the bare, most lazy, not even pedestrian. Bare minimum is too much to say about this. Again, I've seen episodes of TV shows with more depth. Samurai Jack, the 2003 Ninja Turtle cartoon, than this. And they don't explain, like, Leo, why does he not want Raph and Mighty to know about this? Why does he not even think of the idea of maybe turning into human? He just says, we're turtles, that's what we are. That's it. Nothing else to it. And Raph, I don't mind him getting mad because, like, wait, you don't lie to us? You're not going to tell us? And then Leo lies. Oh, what's that thing about honor? And then they just drop it, they do nothing with it. Why does Leo not want them to do it? Why does Donnie just go along with it? See, if you actually have writing, if you actually had competent writers, and again, if the writers see this and you call me an asshole, and you say, no, there's something we were told, whether by the producer or the studio, then tell me. I would love to know. But all I have is what I have in front of me. You know what you could do? You could do, Leo is unsure about this because Donnie says, well, it's a good idea, but I don't know what the long-term effects are. Does it last a month? But then you go back to square one and they get their hopes dashed. Is it going to have long-term effects in terms of their health? Are they going to get mutated even further? Are they going to be human, but then a month or two later they're going to demutate? Or they're going to somehow in the future they're going to mutate back to regular turtles, so they're going to mutate into much more of a feral creature. All the worries, because Donnie's a doctor and Donnie's a scientist, and I have to study this more. And the Leo could go, well, you would never know the long-term effects because we have, how could you? Well, you don't test it on people. Like, there's no way we could know. And then, why Raph and Mighty and why they want it. And maybe there's a scene where they're together and they're outside somewhere and they see people dancing or whatever. And Mighty's saddened by it and Raph hates that his brother's sad by it. And then he lets his guard down and perks up Mighty, makes him smile. And you see, I'm not talking about you need to do 30-minute diatribes like a HBO drama, like the Sopranos or Breaking Bad. I'm saying these little moments that actually will build up your character. But this is like the most lazy, weakest, lamest writing ever. And sorry about the background noise. There's people out there doing stuff out there. I think they're doing their driveway and stuff. But it just boggles my mind that they can't do this, man. It boggles my mind. It's just one of those things that just kills me, man. Because you could do more with this stuff. You could do a lot more with this, and they do nothing with it at all. So instead, Raph and Mighty, they want more of this stuff. They don't want to take you to the police station. They need April and Casey and Vern's help. Meanwhile, Donnie and Leo, they go to this museum looking some info. And, I mean, it's not really an action scene. It's just they sneaked in, so Foot Clan are there. They decide to jump down, but there's no fight scene. It's just, they jump down. Then Leo and Donnie jump through the damn glass in the front. They get found out. They run away. And then they're mad at each other. Leo, I'm like, you're being a dick too, Leo. You can't just blame it all on Raph. Just so much missed opportunity. Then they get some info, and then they need to go to Brazil. Granted, I don't know how they got on this plane. I guess they just took a random plane and they got in the... I don't know how they even got this plane. I don't remember if they even said how they got the plane. But they did. And they look down and they gotta jump off, and that's where you get the goofy scene where Raph jumps and he hits the windshield and his tongue's like, and slides off. So goofy, I mean, that was really stupid. That was really just lousy and lame and unfunny. They get in the plane, there's Bebop and Rocksteady, and then you literally get like a 30-second fight. That's why I sit there and go, like, for people who want Bebop and Rocksteady, you probably want them to fight the Turtles, right? Literally in this 30 seconds, just Rocksteady grabs Raph, and then Raph throws him. Rocksteady's too stupid, he shoots up the plane crashes. Raph gets Donnie out of the way as Bebop and Rocksteady ride this tank. And then the scene's over. You think the scene's going to go further? As, oh my god, it's going to be this long scene where they're riding the tank and they're avoiding all this stuff back and forth. And maybe the Turtles get on the tank and they're trying to get into the tank. And they're trying to fight Bebop and Rocksteady off of the tank. And maybe the Turtles commandeer the tank or vice versa. No. The scene's over pretty quickly. Like, wow, that's it? And that's the first and only time the Turtles deal with those two characters. The only time. The only time. Why? Because Stephen Amell gets to deal with those two by himself. So the four Turtles could not deal with these two. But Stephen Amell, who's just a regular human, just a cop, short ass hair, he defeats Bebop and Rocksteady by himself. Okay. Wow. So again, 4 hulking, steroid-abusing Turtles can't defeat Bebop and Rocksteady. Even Secret of the Ooze, who people give crap for. Even the Turtles, they beat Tokar and Razor. At least they beat them. At least you had a finale where they fight the foot soldiers and beat the hell out of them. Even dancing the crappy Vanilla Ice. Because Vanilla Ice sucks. But at least they're doing that. At least. But damn, man. Like, they can't even do that in this. Oh, and that's where, after the tank bit, they're just complaining to each other in the worst dialogue ever. Well, you're all heart and no brain. Well, you're all logic and no skill. Who the hell talks like this? Who talks like this? Like, this is literally, like, the worst most brain-dead way. I don't know why that scene got stuck in my craw, because that scene there, again, I wish you two will allow me without copyright problems. I love to show the scene in Power Rangers 2017, the campfire scene, and then show this scene with the Turtles just saying the dumbest dialogue, compare the two, and go, just speak for itself. Speak for itself. And then, like, 5 minutes later, like, Leo just, like, you do whatever you want. No journey there. Why does Leo all of a sudden give Raph the choice? Why does Raph take the thing and throw it and break it? One of the things he mentioned is Mighty doesn't have a choice, but he didn't ask Mighty in that either, so I guess Mighty still didn't have a choice. not earned. There is no journey. I can't even say you go to A to D. This didn't even go from A to B. It stayed on A, and it ended on A. Because I feel like an A. I feel like an asshole watching this movie. It's so lazy. And even for dumb fun, there's barely any action if you want that. Yeah, crap characters, crap story. Other parts of the story they rip off on every other superhero or an alien invasion movie. Crap humor. Crap character development. But crap action as well. What action is great in this? You can even argue the 2014 film Snow chase sequence. You could argue on how that's an entertaining action scene. You can make that argument. Here, no, not even that. Well, how do you say this is better than the pre? Because again, it's bad, but there's more focus. There's less Megan Fox. The Turtles felt like they were barely in for a good chunk of it, and it doesn't have fart jokes and boner jokes and other stuff. So I know very low bars to rise above. So the Megan Fox tossed to Laura Linney and the cops in them, and they talk to the Turtles, and the Turtles like, we've all you've got. And there's the Tetratron that looks like a giant Tetris ball. It's like 3D Tetris trying to be put together. And it's weird to see the Turtles talking to the cops and telling them what to do. As if, I don't know, they're the Ghostbusters or something. And Shredder is a punk as... He gets the Krang freezes him. Teen Krang freezes him, puts him like a popsicle, and puts him in the freezer so he can stick up his brain ass later. In case he gets a ration, needs a cool down. And then the Turtles, their fight with Krang is just... They grab on, they're thrown off, they grab on, they're thrown off. Maybe they stab one or two, but they're grabbed, they're thrown off. Mikey gets his skateboard, gets the beacon, gets it away. He's grabbed, ready to be crushed. Leo and Raph stab him. Donnie rips something out. While Stephen Amell, he's not Casey Jones, Stephen Amell, is able to outwit and defeat Bebop and Rocksteady by himself. And Megan Fox and Will Arnett deal with Karai, who's also a punk in this. And them and Casey hit the switch. Then Stephen Amell hit the switch. And then everything's over. And the cops love them. The cops give them the keys to the city. And they hang out at the Statue of Liberty, and then everything's fine and dandy. And suppose there's supposed to be 3 films, and then what would be the third film? They're part-time police officers? Oh my god, man. Just the way the characters are just one-dimensional would be putting it lightly with these characters. Lack of action, lack of fights. I dare anyone to tell me what fight scenes are in this movie. I don't even call the last a fight scene. It's more like grab, thrown off, grab, thrown off. So there's no fight scenes in a Ninja Turtles film. Big Rock City were annoying. Shredder was a useless punk. Megan Fox, wish she was out of the movie entirely. Stephen Amell, the worst, maybe the worst version of Casey Jones I've ever seen. Not much charisma, not much tenacity that you would think in this type of character that should be a vigilante. Bad casting choices like Tyler Perry as Buster Stockman. Lousy humor. I don't know why people defended the movie. I don't know. If you like the film, that's fine. What is there to like about it? And the Turtles, the way they look, and their designs, and because they're so big and they're so... The fight scene... I can't even say the fight scenes are awkward because there are no fight scenes. And the one potential interesting idea, they just shoot themselves in the foot. Raph and Mikey versus Leo and Donnie. Be human, be not human. I'm like, you might as well just not put it in there in the first place because you did jack all of nothing with it. And that could have been interesting. But too inept. Too inept to accomplish it. But I mean, who the hell is Dave Green? What has Dave Green done to get this job? Did some film that nobody remembers. I don't remember what the hell it was called. It was like... I think it was done like found footage, but not really. But it was like a ripoff of E.T., but not really. And I forget what the hell it was called. Because no one remembers the film. These writers, what else have they done? I guess they did Ghost Protocol before all these movies. Which honestly, that's not even a Mission Impossible film I liked. I like Fallout. I like Rogue Nation. I like the third one. The first, but Ghost Protocol is the one of the few I didn't like. But people praised it. I'm like, are you praising it for the writing of the film? Even people who like it, can you really praise it for the writing of the film? The script of the film? Probably not. So, doesn't mean they were the right choices. But hey, that film made money, so get them, and then... I don't know what they've done since. Hopefully retire. And this film bombed. Thankfully. That way we didn't get a third one. Instead we got a Seth Rogen one that was awful too. That's what I mean. This franchise is dead. Again, you take... Like, you... Just ineptitude. When you see the ineptitude that much at work, you put your hands up, you go... If they're too stupid to realize the wrong stuff they're doing, I can't help them. Nobody can help them. Jesus can't help them. Can't do anything about it. Just try to accept the fate. There is no miracle that's going to come around the woodwork that will make it great again. No, it's not. There is no magic miracle. Again, I keep going back to that one scene where the Turtles are supposed to be having this emotional moment with the most clunky, awkward, awful, laziest dialogue I've seen in the longest time. I'm like, if that's how they write these characters, instead of like how real people would talk, it's done. It's finito. But I know it's a long-ass review, but I mean, get some stuff out of the basement. We'll see you guys later. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.